Hi, I'm going to teach you about how to make a quiz and how to make questions for your quiz. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is the question library, which is a wonderful thing to have because you can pull multiple questions into different quizzes. So from your page, go to assessment and then quizzes. And then you will be on the page where your quizzes are. If you've never done a quiz in Do2L, your page is going to be blank, and that's okay. So the first thing you want to do is go to quiz library. So this is the place where you can make tons of different questions and you can store them here and label them whatever you want. For this training video, on this series of videos, I'm going to make a new section in my quiz question library and I'm going to call it, when it comes back up, it seemed to disappear on me. Let me do a new one section. Okay, I'm going to call this practice questions. I'm just going to save it. And it's probably going to be at the very bottom. It is, and I'm going to reorder it to the top so we can keep seeing it. So if you ever need to reorder your stuff, if you go to wherever it is, click on it and then just take it up here. Oops, let me keep going. There it is. It's at my top now. So I hit save. And when I go to my quiz library, there it is. All right, so I'm going to I'm going to click on practice questions, and I don't have anything in here. That is because I need to start adding questions. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hit new, and I'm going to do let's do a new type of question. So I'm going to do a true false question. So I'm going to do, let's do this. The z-test deals with normal distributions. So this is a true question. And if you want to here, it will show you your default points. They usually always do to 1 or whatever. So I'm going to make this a 20-point quiz. I might do this as 4 points. And also the good thing is if you see here on the left is also what you see on the right. And you have different options. You can add feedback, give a hint, give a short description, whatever you want to do. So then I'm going to hit save. So then when I go back to here, remember I have my practice questions section, and now I have another question under here. So let's add some more questions. So let's do another. We did a true false. Let's do a multiple choice. So say I'm going to do, all right, the z-test uses what standard deviation? Okay, so I'm going to do population is the right answer. Oops. Sample. Let's say some crazy stuff. Let's say like variance and the mean. Okay. My correct answer is population. So I'm going to click on that. And again, over here on the right, you see how your question looks. I like to use a larger font for students, and I like the default font that it uses when you make quizzes. Another thing that you can do is you can randomize these answers for each student. What that means is each student will have the same question. The answers will be in a different order. So again, I'm going to do my default points to 4. And I'm going to, sorry for that. I don't know why that keeps doing that. And then I'm going to hit save. Sorry, it's my Screencastify is being difficult. All right, and it'll tell me it was successfully saved. Let's do a few more just to give you more practice. All right, next thing. Let's say that you want them to do a short answer question. I'm going to go here and I'm going to say, oops. So I'm going to say just describe how the population standard, oops, sorry. is important in z-test, okay? I would suggest you do it where it is very, very short. Okay, so you can enter your answer here. So describe how your population standard deviation is important to your z-test. If you write the question and you want it to be longer, you could do written response, which makes it longer. So, but I'm going to keep it as a short answer, and I'm going to say that the population standard deviation is used with the normal distribution. Okay. All right, so I'm going to close that down. And again, I'm going to save my default points and I'm going to hit save. Okay. All right. Well, let's make 2 more questions so we get to the 20 points. All right. So another way you can do that, you can do fill in the blank. So let's do this. So let's do, you can give titles to your questions if you want. I usually don't. I'm just going to do this as a 4 again. And then I'm going to do my question. I'm going to do the z-test uses the blank test statistic. Right. So I've got what I'm starting with. I've got what that is. Oops, and help if I spelled it right. So what I want to put here, I want to put it uses the z-test statistic. Okay. So then when I hit save, oops, it's here. I forgot to do something, so let me go back. And it will give you warnings on stuff you forget to do. Let me do this, and I'll put that up there so we can see it better. Okay, I didn't tell it what weight I want to give it. So I want to give it 100%. And I want to do it case insensitive because some students might write it as a capital Z, some might write it as a lowercase z, but it doesn't matter. It'll do the same thing. One thing that I haven't talked about before is say you're going to make a lot of these type of fill in the blank questions. You can save it. You can save and copy, and it'll make the identical question so that you can just type over it, or you can save and do a new question. So I'm going to hit save. All right, so it has it there for me. And let's do one more. So let's do an easier one I kind of like, and we use it a little bit, is a matching question. So again, I'm going to do 4 points, and I'm going to put match the following values with their correct, I guess, items. Okay. And just make it whatever you want. Just make it clear though. So I'm going to say like I say, population, say I've given them a problem, population standard deviation. Okay. And then say I'm going to do, oops, sample standard deviation. And then if you want to add more, so right now I only have 2 matching, which isn't very good. So I'm going to add here, I'm going to put 2 more. I'm going to do that. And what it does for me is it gives me 2 more blanks down here. I've got population, sample, and now I've got 2 more. So say I'm going to do population mean. And let me do level, let me do sample mean. Okay. So say I gave them a huge nasty word problem and I want them to pull those values from it. So I know number 1 is my population standard deviation. So you can put your values down here. And again, you see the matching, I only have 2 down here. Because I had 4 at the top, I need to add the other 2 here. So let me do that and add match. So I click on that. And it gave me those. Okay, so now I need to, if I had a problem, say, let me go build the problem so you can see exactly what I'm doing. Okay. Students in higher education graduate with an average GPA of 3.1 and a standard deviation of 0.4. A local college believes their graduates have higher GPAs they test 100 students and find their GPAs are 3.2 with a standard deviation of 0.3. Okay, so I have my question, and I just pulled this off the top of my head. So you can also make it like here, you can make it anything you want it to be. Just make it very clear and easy to read. If it starts to look like it's getting crowded, you could always add lines to it, spaces, whatever you need to do. Make sure to give them directions of what they need to do so it's pretty clear. Okay. So population standard deviation is 3.1 in this problem. So when I go down here, say I'm going to do it in the third spot. So I'm going to put 3.1 and I'm going to go over here and match it to 1. Why am I doing that? Because oops, I did that wrong and that would have gotten me. So 3.1 was my population mean. So population mean is 3, so I need to keep it as 3. My population standard deviation, which was 0.4, and that's in my number 1 slot, I need to put it here. 0.4, oops. And then my sample population was 3.2 was its mean, so I'm going to put it here. And then 0.3 was the standard deviation for the sample, so I'm going to put it here. Okay. All right, so what the heck did I just do? So I have lined up what I want them to match. So I've got population standard deviation, sample standard deviation, population mean, and sample mean. Down here, I have the corresponding values for what we're looking for because it has 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so again, make sure your values match. A lot of times what I do is I usually don't do all or nothing. I just do equally weighted. So that way, if they say they mess up on 2, but they get 2 right, they still get the points. So I'm good on that. So then I'm going to hit save. Okay. So now I have all these questions made. So this is how you make questions like these. If you have any questions about specific ones, sometimes it's good to Google or you can email me and I can help you with them. So I'm going to stop this video now, but that's how to make questions in your question library. The next video will be on how to take these questions and make quizzes.